All right, Kenman here. And today, have you ever had a knife where you liked it, you thought it looked really cool, classy, white and black, but maybe you wanted to give it a pop of color, turn it into something different? Well, die project number 48. This is the Miguron Perism. This was one of my earlier dies, and it turned out so good, I had to get another one. Look at this red. Tell me that does not look gorgeous. Really fun knife, D2 steel, G10 scales. Comes in this white. I got another one. Let's get to it. All right. Before I tear this thing apart, not sponsored by anyone. I purchase everything at retail price. I do these videos because I love discussing knives and sharing info and ideas with others. I almost forgot. If you have any questions or thoughts, please feel free to comment below. Before and after shot. Click. Okay. We will see this a little bit later of this video in a completely new state. Let's tear this Perism apart. It's such a cool knife. These are going for about 30 bucks right now. And like I said, it's a D2 steel and a G10 scales on a Miguron. It's a win. If you're looking for a budget knife that you can use, kind of beat up a little bit, not be so worried about, this is a cool looking knife. The action feels good. Check it out. So I've already taken the one apart, obviously, so I'm not as worried in this case what's going on because I know this knife. Otherwise, if you have never taken that knife apart, you want to make sure to pay attention to how all the parts are so that when you put it back together, you can get everything correct. Okay, so there we are. Boom, boom, boom. We've got one scale. Whoops. Hey, yo. Tearing stuff, getting rowdy here. These are T6s in the pocket clip. Uh-oh. And that is another bit that has bit the dust. Whenever you have a bit that even remotely starts to feel like it's going bad, just go ahead and get rid of that one right away. It's gonna end up ruining your screw, and if you don't have extra screws to replace it with, you're out of luck. All right, we got the scales off. They are dirty. I am gonna wipe them down, wash them in some soapy water, get all this oil off. All these little spots are going to be areas where it would resist the dye, and if that gets in an area that you don't want to resist the dye, then you've got that issue. Okay, so first I'll do a quick wipe, and then like I said, we are going to go to the sink, wash these off really good, and then we will be ready to start the dye. Let's do it. All right, we are here. I've got them ready to go. We are going to do a short dye today because I am not trying to get very dark and this can go fast. Are we ready? I'm going to splash them around quick and get them out right away. We're doing a pink and I don't want it to be super dark, so I have to go fast and think fast. And with some of the reds we've done, it goes really quick. This has got a weird fuchsia kind of look, but we're going for a light pink. If you look at the bottle, I'm gonna go in for this super pink, kind of bubblegum pink right there. This is a special request, so we're trying to match that out for them. Oh, this is gonna work good. It looks strange right now for sure. Oops, forgot to put in the back spacer. Splash that one around, get that bubbling all nice. So yeah, the dye is just about dying. Just about dying? I'm sorry. The dye is just about boiling. It's just under boiling temperature. I've got about 2 ounces of that RIT dye and about 24 ounces of water just heating up on the stove. I'm gonna let these sit in here. Here's a few that I've done. I'm not gonna really waste much. I got to really focus on these because I want it to be a light pink. And it looks like it's going fairly slow, so we can spend a little time. This nice CJRB logo and this purple turned out really good. I need to carry this logo more. Opening and checking out all the new knives all the time, I don't really get to play with certain knives as much as I wanted to, which is it's a sad problem to have. All these new knives I'm playing with. But yeah, logo is great. This purple turned out really good. I love the accents and stuff to it. This is the most recent one. This Genie did one of those weathered, kind of worn, aged looked. I think I love it. It's probably one of my favorites. Even this one here, it was kind of a sandy, soft green, and I wanted to kind of make it this green, yellow, kind of split pea soup kind of thing, and it ended up with this gross yellow, and I love it. It is great. This is the Sun-Cut Scepter. This is the same knife, the Miguron Perism. When I did this die and it came out in this red, so nice, I instantly ordered another one. Put the video out for it and had a couple people interested in one themselves. And so I've already ordered a couple more. Here we are on the second die for Wheezy. All right. Let's take a look. We're going for a light pink. Or we might almost be there. Take everything out, get a good rinse. And so you can see it still had that darker fuchsia color when it was in there because the dye kind of sits on there. And so putting in this water to neutralize it is really what you got to do to get a true look at what color you're actually at. I'm just going to kind of wipe them off in case there is any chunks. Sometimes the dye can leave a little thick. After a while, boiling it and cooling it over and over, it can make some little chunks inside of it once in a while. So I like to get in there. You can see like this one here. It's a little bit darker pink in a section. Didn't take. That's interesting. It's also different when you're doing these because this kind of like the show side, and you're looking at the edge. And so when you're looking at the edge, you're looking at all these layers together. So it always kind of looks a little different on the side. I think we are good. We were going for, maybe I need to go in just a little bit longer. I don't want to make it too dark, but we were going for like this soft pink. I am going to go back in just for a minute, if that even. I'm going to leave the back spacer out, though. The side of that looks like it's good. Sorry, I'm bumping the camera. See how crazy fuchsia these look right away? That's why you got to rinse that dye off to see what that true color actually is. Some colors, it's even more so. And when you do micarta is thicker. And so that dye really kind of sits in there. And I noticed like wiping the micarta off and the water rinse, you really got to get into the grooves with your hand. Otherwise, some of that dye kind of sits in there. It's like you're almost like wiping it off rather than it just rinsing away. It's strange. Dyeing stuff is fun. If you enjoy these videos, hit that like button. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. This is number 48, so obviously been doing it for a while. What's going to be die number 50? Who knew we would get this far in the project? It's crazy. It's so much fun. Project is literally one of the reasons I started the channel. I'm an artist. I like doing things. I've been doing dies for years and other things. And someone told me, oh, that pocket knife handle, you could dye that like you do. And it was a mind-opening experience because I had all these knives I could already do. I started getting more, and here we are. All right. Yep. That's it right there. That was a good move. It brought us just a little bit more pink, but I didn't want to get into that bright. Oh yeah, the bottom looks like it. See the bottom, how it's like hot pink? That's what I didn't want. Looking for this more like this bubblegum pink, kind of a softer pink was what was requested. So I think we are successful. I like how it makes the the layers of the micarta turn into like wood grain stripes. Really helps accent, bring it out. I dig it a lot. These look fantastic. Okay. Get them out and get them dry. Just gonna get them a dab dry here. G10 dries pretty fast. If you do micarta, it takes quite a bit longer to dry, just as pores and stuff, just extra. You want to make sure it's completely dry before you put it back together. Here we are. We've got the pink. Let's go back to the table, put her back together, and boom. Ugh. Ooh. Making me dizzy. All this jumping around. Let's get this thing back together. Okay. So, try to make this as painfully painless as possible. Painfully painless? Sure. Why not? Alright, these bearings are the same on both sides, so it doesn't really... Oh, geez, there we go. There we go. Making a mess. Don't lose your parts. There it is. Oh, I'm excited. This knife is fun. Like I said, this is the second time I've purchased this knife. Actually, I already purchased the third one. It is on its way in the mail. A couple people have been interested in it, and it is a cool design. Okay, so this is the captive pivot, which is kind of weird because it's like you want to put that side in first, but you have to put in the other side first. I'm going to do that. Turn this around. Kind of just makes it a little more awkward because the cylinder, that big cylinder, should be on the side with the captive pivot almost. I feel like it makes a little more sense, but that's fine. Seems like it's going to work. We are good. I don't remember having that issue. I already did this once recently. What did I do that time? I have to go back and watch the tape. Roll that footage. Oops. I like that they do have the T8s on here for the body screws. That is a nice touch. I always let everyone know when you put a knife back together, you have to be careful about the centering of the blade. So we're going to pay attention as we tighten this back down. Basically, I like to get everything started, then crank the pivot down so that the blade is a little bit that direction. Then when you loosen it back up, it'll slide back to center. And now I'll go ahead and lock these down. Boom. And boom. Maybe even go back to the other side, make sure they're both good. Pocket clip only has one option on this knife, so we will do that option, I guess, right? It's our only choice. I guess our other choice would be no pocket clip, which I've done on smaller knives. On those little fifth pocket knives, I actually like some of them without a pocket clip. You can just drop it in that fifth pocket, much easier. Okay. I always also like to go back and forth a couple of times with the pocket clip screws since they're close to each other. When you get one tight, sometimes it relieves a little pressure off the other one. So you kind of go back and forth a couple times and you know you're good. Okay, we are set. Let's loosen this up a little. And then you want to check the solid or the blade, make sure there's no play. And that's where you want to decide if you want to crank it down a little more or loosen it up a little bit. But basically when it's open, you want to make sure that it doesn't have any play. It's nice and solid. But you also don't want it so tight that it doesn't swing as free. You know, depending, some knives don't swing as much as others do. But when you took it apart, if it had a little swing to it, like this, then you want to kind of repeat that. Blade solid, we are good. Die project number 48. Colors don't always show in camera and stuff. This is a lighter pink. When I'm looking at it with my eyes and it actually looks right here, it's a little bit more of that bubblegum kind of pink. There's that back spacer. And also you get a little bit of a gradient because it has these the contour lines. So those darker parts and then the lighter parts, you get a little bit of a shade, different shades of that pink. But it looks good. We'll get it out next to my red one. And then you'll definitely see that brings it down to a little bit more of a pink. But even this kind of, my lighting right now looks kind of a little dull. I've been working on lighting for the stuff, trying to improve it, make it as good as I can for the videos. Dueling knives is fun, right? But yeah, this is going to be going out to one of my subscribers, members, as a gift. Hopefully the receiver didn't see this beforehand. But yeah, looks good. I like it. Die project number 48. We can do that before and after. Bing, there it is. What's everyone think of the pink? I dig it. This is a fun knife. Oh, I need to tighten that down just a little bit more. That's another thing when you putting them back together, sometimes it doesn't stay, so you might need to crank it down or kind of break it in and it'll kind of loosen back up. You kind of figured out you might need to put a little Loctite on there. But yeah, we are good. 48 dies. I do have this other Miguron. I've been looking at this Valona that I've had for quite a while, all stormtroopered out. Have you ever seen one of these before? Check it out right there. But yeah, should I dye this or should I just leave it as is? I've been pretty happy with it as is. It's a huge knife. If you're looking at Migurons, check out the Valona. They also have a small version. Fun times. Love doing dyes. More stuff coming in the future. Stay sharp. See you soon.